Good morning. My name is Samantha Turner, and I'm the Workforce Development Coordinator for the Midlands Education and Business Alliance. It is with great excitement that I welcome you to MEBA's second annual webinar series, Ready, Set, Connect. Today's webinar is an introduction to MEBA's programs and resources available to our stakeholders in 2015-2016. As you will learn, there is something for everyone. I am charging you to share this information with the faculty and staff at your schools, as well as your students and parents. In an effort to improve the quality of this webinar, I have placed all participants on mute and ask that you would please stay muted during the presentation. During the presentation, I have some questions I would like to ask. Please respond by using the chat box at the bottom of your control panel. Likewise, if you have questions, please submit them using the chat box and I will answer those accordingly. Typically, webinars are presented using PowerPoint. To make the most impact of today's webinar, we will use MEBA's website to introduce programs and resources available to you. To get started, I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about MEBA and tell you who we are. I'd like to begin by providing you with some background information. For more than 20 years, MEBA has been a leader in connecting business and industry to education systems in the Midlands. The three initiatives at the core of our foundation include dropout prevention, workforce development, and preparing students for college, career, and citizenship. Each year, MEBA connects with more than 101,600 Midlands students, 106 schools in the Midlands, and with more than 250 volunteers from business and industry. Over the past 2 years, MEBA has provided almost $125,000 in education resources to over 1,300 educators. In addition, we provided about 2,800 educators with staff development and career development graduate credit, as well as about 1,000 and have had about 1,000 participants in educator and student field studies. As you can see, we have been busy. I'd like to ask you, I have a two-part question that I'd like to ask you, and I'll go ahead and submit this question using our chat box. How many of you have participated in MEBA programs and activities in the past? And the second part, how many of those have been webinars? I'm going to go ahead and proceed with our presentation, but while I'm speaking and navigating through our website, please take a moment to think about that. And if you would respond at some point, please, using that chat box, that would be appreciated. Thank you so much. I'd like to take you all to our Educator Resource tab. This is where our educators can find any resources that we have put together for our educators, our school counselors, our career specialists, faculty members, administrators. You'll see a listing of educator links there on the right-hand side of the screen. We value our educators and we work diligently to support them through business connections, professional development opportunities, career development resources, and much more. At the top of the home page, you'll see there's a menu tab, and you would just click on that Educators tab. It'll take you directly to those links. These include information on training, education, career resources, and opportunities that can benefit the schools in which you work, the students and parents you work with, and those that are available for you for your own personal growth. The first thing I'd like to feature here and highlight is educator field studies. These are signature events that MEBA offers throughout our throughout the academic year. There we go. During a field study, educators spend a day in a specific industry, for example, advanced manufacturing, and they're exposed to various career paths, required skill sets, and levels of education required for the jobs, labor market statistics, and workforce trends. Educators take what they learn back to their schools and classrooms, adding relevance to core curriculum and better preparing future employees. Field studies also promote networking among educators and industry professionals, and they create extended learning opportunities and partnerships. Field studies are scheduled in advance, and the dates will be posted on MEBA's homepage. MEBA is in the process of planning a significant field study for this current year, a two-part immersion field study in applied technology across the STEAM career clusters has been scheduled for January 28th and February 25th of 2016. It's a two-part field study. And as you can see, we have some other field studies already scheduled. We have a cosmetology field study at Paul Mitchell, the school, and that's on October 30th. And we have a few more in the works, and like I said, we'll present those to you on our MEBA homepage under our calendar of events. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll also have an itinerary up there for the 2015-16 school year. The next thing that I wanted to point out to you are some of the graduate courses that MEBA offers our educators. MEBA offers graduate courses, many of which carry continuing education units to help educators track efforts to enhance and update their knowledge and skills. Some of these graduate courses include Teachers in the Workplace, Global Career Development Facilitator Training, and Global Career Development Instructors Training. Once scheduled, these courses are usually updated on the MEBA website and promoted through eConnections, which is our electronic newsletter, email announcements, social media, and also sometimes you might find that up on our MEBA dashboard, which is on the homepage, and that promotes our programs and our events and allows for registration. It'll have a registration link there for you. Some other things that MEBA promotes and provides for our educators are some one-day training opportunities. MEBA offers a variety of one-day training opportunities for our educators, including soft skills training, career expos, such as like an engineering expo or a STEM expo, contextual teaching and learning seminars, dropout prevention summits, financial literacy workshops, poverty training seminars, and much more. You'll see here that we have a training opportunity coming up on September 24th. This is for our Hot Jobs Expo. On September 24th, we will host our annual Jobs Expo. Educators will be exposed to current and emerging careers in the Midlands through industry expert panels and breakout sessions. Registration is coming soon, and it will be promoted through our eConnections, our MEBA website on the dashboard, e-blasts, through email, social media, and so on. I do know we had an eConnections that was sent out this morning, and I haven't had a chance to take a glance at it, but there's a chance that some of this information actually might be listed there in eConnections. So please check that out. Another activity, one-day training opportunity on November 13th. We have an engineering expo that we host in partnership with Midlands Technical College, SCE&G, and this will feature a hands-on session and program introducing, to highlight engineering facilities and STEM programs at the Northeast campus of Midlands Technical College. In May 2016, our regional career specialist, Lisa Call, is already planning a contextual teaching and learning workshop. So more information will come on that. also point out to you MEBA Speakers Guide. This is a listing of local business partners available to connect with educators and students by sharing insight and information related to the career and professional experience. As you can see, the Speakers Guide is organized around the career clusters: architecture and construction, human services, health sciences, etc. And what you can do is just by, say, for example, you would like to invite somebody into your health science biologies. You can go to health sciences, and we'll have several different speakers located from various backgrounds. You'll see we have an optometrist, Dr. Cartilage. We have Erica Davis, who's with Midland Carolina AHEC, Terry Blair with South Carolina Department of Social Services. These are just a few of our speakers who might be interested in coming out and speaking to your classrooms and your students about careers in the health sciences industry. And you can do this for any of them: agriculture, etc. So I have another question. Hi, Ms. Jones, thank you for your comment, and I see Ms. Mitchell's with you as well. That's great. Thank you for participating today. I have another question that I want to ask you all. Have you used the MEBA Speakers Guide? And if so, how often? For example, do you use it 3 times a year? Have you used it once? Do you use it for career fairs? Let us know how beneficial this is to you, and how we might be able to maybe improve this and make it more effective for you. Probably MEBA's most utilized resource is our Building Your Career Resource Guide. This guide is broken down. Let me get this pulled up so you can see it firsthand. It might look, here's a picture of it. It might look familiar to you all. This guide is broken down into 4 distinctive areas that guide the user through the career planning process: ready, assess, explore, and experience. This career guide includes numerous resources and tools for educators to assist students with the career process, beginning with self-assessments, career exploration, and real-world experiences that can assist them in choosing a career and planning for their future. Some of these tools include extended learning opportunities, instruction on filling out job applications correctly, resume writing and related correspondence, interviewing tips and dress code, and also how to use and not use social media when planning for a career. That's something that I hear educators talk about a good bit. That seems to be a good topic of conversation. Okay, so you all have never used the Speaker's Guide. Okay, well, I would invite you both to take a look at that Speaker's Guide and see how you might be able to use that going forward this year. Share that and any of these resources, please, with your colleagues. The Speaker's Guide would be beneficial for maybe your math teachers. We have some speakers who can come in from the STEM, Advanced Manufacturing, or IT Alliance, and they can come in and show students that what they're learning in middle school or high school, how it relates to the real world and where they will use those skills 8 years from now, once they get out of high school, once they get in through whatever continuing ed they want to do at the 2-year or 4-year levels. But it's a wonderful resource, and I would encourage you to look at that and, again, share with your colleagues what it has to offer. Even the Speaker's Guide, whether teaching math, science, or English, the career building your career resource can be used during instruction by all faculty and staff members in your school. MEBA updates this resource annually to ensure that we are providing educators, students, and parents with the most current and accurate information each academic year. see here. Let me go back to educators. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty here maneuvering through the website. So I'm going to go back to educators and go back to those links that I was sharing with you on the right-hand side, and I'm going to click on career clusters. There are a ton of resources here for you all to use with your students, parents, and educators. MEBA offers online career exploration. Educators, students, and parents have direct access to career resources to the 16 career clusters. And let me show those to you. My GoToMeeting menu is getting in the way of some of my navigation tools, so I appreciate your patience. But career clusters, there's the 16 career clusters that we recognize here in South Carolina with the South Carolina Department of Education. By clicking on any one of these career clusters, such as health science, I'll use health science again, students, parents, and educators will be provided with an overview of the cluster, specifically learning about related majors, industry perspectives, and even there's the opportunity to view a job shadowing video. There's actually probably a few of those there. But various career resources are provided under each career cluster that can be used with the students and parents during IGP conferences, and it can be included in career exploration activities such as the virtual job shadows. There's coloring sheets for the younger students, maybe in the elementary schools, and much more. So here's a career spotlight, emergency medical services through microburst learning. I'm not going to click on that now because I want to be a good steward of your time today, but I would encourage you to go back and look at that possibly at a later time. So let's see here. And then here's some more MEBA resources that are related specifically to health sciences. We have to be a part of our series brochure, the health science. And then we have career cards, which just are a quick overview of the health science cluster. It'll list a couple sample occupations, salary information. It'll have a QR code that will take you to the website to access more in-depth resource, the Be a Part of resource brochure. And I believe that might also have a QR code on it that lets the student do a job shadow. You can see the healthcare coloring sheet for our elementary school students. It talks about it being a hot job of the future, and that this is where that health sciences has a large growth expectancy through 2018. There's health science careers, tips for parents, tips for students, and there's also, most importantly, there's a healthcare volunteer guide, and that's a workplace learning and volunteer opportunity. It'll list for each of the regional hospitals here in medical communities here in the Midlands. It'll show where there might be camps at the different hospitals that students can get engaged in, mentoring, volunteering opportunities. This is an excellent opportunity for your students to see how this career might fit their aspirations. Is this going to be a good fit for them? So I would encourage you to go to look at these and again, share these with your faculty members who teach health science biologies, who might lead the host of student groups in your schools. These are excellent resources for you and your colleagues and your stakeholders there in your community. The MEBA Be a Part of career resource brochures, they're continuously being updated to include the most current information based on feedback from our industry experts and labor market information. The most recent brochures updated include our manufacturing, and I'm going to go back so you can look at all the clusters. But the most current resource guides that have been updated include our advanced manufacturing brochure, agriculture and natural resources, our STEM brochure, I did say agriculture, and then our government and public administration. Information technology is currently in the process of being updated, and this will not be available until the end of September. Hopefully we'll have it in time for our Hot Jobs Expo, but that's the most current one being updated. But there still is, our most recent edition is online here. It's in that third row, first one. So please be sure that, again, that you share these resources with all your faculty members, such as science teachers and math teachers. It's just an excellent opportunity to connect with students that are learning in the classrooms and connecting it to the real world. Another resource that I wanted to introduce to you today, which you may have already heard me talk about, is our Hot Jobs Brochure. This brochure addresses our job skills gap. Today in South Carolina, we actually have what we call a talent disconnect. We have too few workers with the skill sets needed to meet the growing demands of our employers. This has had a tremendous effect on our economic growth in our communities and around our state, as job creators are finding it challenging to grow and develop without employees with the right talent and skills. And again, I'm going to go back to educators and pull up our Hot Jobs Brochure here. This here is a graph that kind of illustrates where our job growth is here in South Carolina. You'll see it's in our middle skilled workforce. It should be around 45%, and it's only here right about 29%. You'll see to the right we have our more skilled workforce. Right now we have 2 people who are overqualified for some of the jobs here in South Carolina. And then on the lower end of the totem pole there, of the graph here, you'll see we don't have our lower skilled workers. Is about 17%. So MEBA's Hot Jobs of the Future resource, it identifies the jobs in which employers will be seeking and are predicted to have the largest growth expectancy through 2018. It also includes related wage and salary information. This is another great resource to share with parents and students during IGP conferences, career exploration activities. Many of these careers, like I had said just a moment ago, are middle skilled careers requiring a two-year degree or less. And when you look at some of these sample occupations, I think you'll be amazed to see what the earning potential is for these careers. They're a lot higher. It's a lot higher than what one would expect. And then again, what you're participating in today is our Ready, Set, Connect webinar series. This has allowed educators, students, and parents to access education and career resources in a whole new way. This series will be offered the 3rd Thursday of the month, and it will last about 30 minutes. Webinars can be used to reach not only educators, but classrooms of students at one time. There will be 2 week-long sessions offered this year. December 15th through the 18th will focus on a specific hot job each day. And then March 22nd through the 25th, we will focus on building your career, and we will focus on a specific topic each day. Other topics that we have scheduled for the year include financial literacy, profile of a South Carolina graduate, careers in hospitality and tourism, leadership, entrepreneurship, the parent's role in planning for community and college and career, and much more. These webinars will be promoted on the dashboard on our homepage of our website, through social media, our e-connections, as well as email. These programs have been developed around MEBA's priorities of preparing students for college, career, and citizenship. And following up, our webinars they are located on MEBA's YouTube channel and the MEBA website for additional viewing. Here's a series schedule for this year. And then we have one next week. It might be geared more towards business and industry, but it's great information for our high schools as well. Talks about the MTC Quick Jobs Training. And then you'll see how they're scheduled, Money Matters, Profile of the Ideal Graduate. But please take a look at those, and again, share these with your colleagues, and maybe they can put these on for classrooms of students. We bring in industry experts to talk on these different matters. So for example, for Money Matters, I have Miss Gina Moak coming in from Regions Bank, and she has some great presentations that we're going to provide our students with on identifying a career and looking at what their earning potential will be. And further, it will take a step further to show them how they can support how that will support the lifestyle that they would like to live. And it will also include some things about managing their credit, debt to income ratio, and such. So I think I'm looking forward to that one. I think it will be a great resource for our high school and college students. So I have another question for you. You know what? I just realized I didn't send the last one out. How have you used the MEBA Speaker's Guide? And if so, I think I did send that one out. I'm sorry. How do you anticipate using these webinars in your school? And I'm going to go ahead and send that one out there for everybody. If you wouldn't mind just giving me some feedback on that sometime during the webinar, I would greatly appreciate that. This is our second annual year, and I'd like to see how we can improve the quality and just be as effective as we can be when we're planning our career topics. So I appreciate your feedback. So these are just a few of MEBA Resources. I'm going to go to our Resource tab at the very top. These are just a few of MEBA's resources. Please be sure to visit the MEBA Resources tab in individual career clusters to see additional resources available to you, your students and parents. MEBA Resources can be accessed from the MEBA website and downloaded and printed free of charge. Educators can also order classroom sets for distribution to students and parents at no charge if in the Midlands. To order MEBA Resources, again, you'll go to the very top of the home page, and you'll access the Resource tab on the top of the home page and click on the green block that you see right in front of you now. And this will prompt, you can click on the link for a resource request form, and then just follow complete and submit using the instructions on the form. Linda Whitaker is our administrative assistant with the Midlands Education and Business Alliance, and she's very diligent at taking these request forms and then getting them back to the folks who've requested them. So there is a nominal fee for districts outside of MEBA service area. Okay, thank you for your feedback. So you'll use these just to communicate this information to your students. Great. I have another question. What programs and resources are most beneficial to you and to your students that you've seen so far that you've used in the past from MEBA? Let me know what might be most beneficial to you that you're currently using. Maybe we need to look at some ways of enhancing those resources or bringing in some additional resources. I'll put that in a question to you as well. What programs and resources are most beneficial to you and to your students? Alrighty. Okay. I appreciate your participation in these questions. I like to go back up to the top, not to the very, very top, but we have some menu options here, the Educators tab, the Students tab. I'd like to go to the Parents tab and show you about some of our our more popular resources for parents. We have our Your Child is Job Number 1, and it's listed there under the parent links. And you'll see under the parent links that we have a lot of the same resources listed for parents that we have listed under educators, but there are a couple of different ones. One is the parent resource guides. They're available for parents according to the district that that you're placed in. So I think Richland 1 has a parent resource guide specific to Richland 1, but I'll let you visit those at a later time. But I wanted to go to Your Child is Job Number 1. You'll see that listed here in the middle of the page. This is MEBA's resource that's located under the Parent tab. Your Child is Job Number 1 works to provide parents and caregivers with the information, resources, and encouragement they need to raise happy, healthy, and successful children. Program topics include back-to-school success, academic achievement, study skills, and much more. Kay Barlow is MEBA's Director of Community and Parent Education. Ms. Barlow will work with your school to provide Your Child is Job Number 1 programs to meet your school's needs. Ms. Barlow's contact information is located on this resource as well as under staff on the MEBA homepage, which I will introduce you to in just a few minutes. Some of these program topics, like I said, include back-to-school success, academic achievement, study skills, and much more. She can build these programs based on some needs that you see, whether it's dress for success or soft skills. She can address those unique to what your needs are. Going back to the top, I just wanted to introduce you to the MEBA Community Calendar, and that's at the very top in one of the blue tabs. So I'm gonna click on Calendar. MEBA takes great pride in its role as a connector in the Midlands. One of the best ways for education to connect with business and industry and vice versa is through MEBA's Community Calendar. MEBA invites educators to share information about career fairs, parent nights, and other school-based events on this community calendar. To promote your event, if you look to the right, you'll see an orange box. And your request, if you go ahead and click the Get Started, it'll prompt you to complete just a brief form. And you'll need to include your contact information, event details, and a link to your event, just in a concise and efficient manner. And then Linda Whitaker, she'll approve that, and she'll put it up on our community calendar where it will be accessed by our business and community partners. And it will also be shared for access in the distribution of our eConnections newsletter. This has been an excellent way for partners to learn more about activities in the schools and get involved. So, for example, our friends at ITology or our friends at SCANA, they might go to MEBA's community calendar and say, oh, great, Richland 2 is having a career fair on February 20th. Let's make sure we're a part of that. And they'll go ahead and connect with whoever the point person is at that time. So I encourage you to use our community calendar and let us know how we can help you connect that way. I keep referring to eConnections, and if you go to the very top under News, this is our electronic newsletter. We just had one go out this morning. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I know there's some articles about our upcoming events and also our new executive director, which I'll talk to you all about in just a moment. But it's another opportunity for MEBA to connect with constituents. eConnections, as I had said, is an electronic newsletter, and it's used to promote our upcoming programs and events, resources. We might include parenting tips over the summer and trends around workforce economic development. This newsletter is distributed monthly. If you are interested in receiving the letter and you do not receive it right now, there's an area on the home page where you can enter your email address. And I'm going to go back to our home page so I can highlight that area. You'll see just next to our dashboard, there's a little box with a blue heading. It says MEBA eConnections mailing list. If you just put your email in there and then hit subscribe, that will that signs you up for our eConnections newsletter to get that every month. Our career specialist meetings, they're not listed here on the website. They're fairly new. But Regional Career Specialist Lisa Call, she's hosting career specialist meetings throughout this year. The purpose of the meetings is to connect with educators to include administrators, school counselors, K educators, and more, to connect them to trends in business and industry. These meetings will include networking with industry experts on current and emerging career trends, share best practices among peers, and much more. So I would encourage you to save the date for October 16th and December 4th, and it might already be on our community calendar, but October 16th and December 4th, Lisa will be having our career specialist meetings, and let's see here. Let me go to well, I'm not having much luck here, and it could just, I'll have to look into that. But in the next couple of days, actually probably the next week or two, as we confirm our itinerary for this coming year, for what programs and events that we're offering, it will be listed there under the calendar on our homepage. So look for those. And again, we put them in eConnections and advertise and promote in other ways as well. They'll be from, actually I have the dates for all four, October 16th, December 4th, and then February 26th and April 15th. And Lisa typically schedules those from 9 to 1:30. She'll bring in different career speakers. She does a nice job with those. They're very informative. And how do you get in touch with us? I'm going to go back to our About Us. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to click on Staff. We've had some exciting changes around here this summer. As you may know, Dr. Kay Shaw has retired from MEBA and now works solely for the South Carolina Department of Commerce as a Midlands Regional Workforce Advisor. MEBA will continue to work closely with Dr. Shaw to partner on various programs and activities, so you'll still see her engaged. And it is with great pleasure that I share with you that Tiffany Harrison is MEBA's new Executive Director. Ms. Harrison comes to MEBA with a background in economic development and was the Director of Economic Development in Fairfield County the past 8 years. The staff looks forward to learning and growing from Ms. Harrison and her experience as we advance the mission of MEBA. We are committed to improving and enhancing our community's education system, workforce, and way of life here in South Carolina. On behalf of MEBA, I would like to invite you to become a beneficiary of MEBA's extensive resources, activities, and education programs. If you are already a beneficiary, please share these opportunities with your colleagues so they can put them to use as they relate to IGP conferences, career exploration activities, and connecting classrooms to the real world. Do we have any questions? So it looks as if the field studies are beneficial to you. Okay, no more questions? I'm going to go back through and read some of your comments, and I'll share them with our staff as well. Well, listen, I'd like to thank you for connecting with MEBA today to learn more about what we do and what we have to offer you and your colleagues. and stakeholders in your school. MEBA has made it possible for our constituents to connect with us in many ways. We encourage you to follow us through the many avenues of social media, which includes Twitter, Facebook, and you'll see how we're connected here down here at the bottom. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn. MEBA has a YouTube video. I think I mentioned that earlier, and it has some of our webinars already listed on there, as well as some other career development type workforce development videos. So I would encourage you to visit that. Please connect with us on the third Thursday of the month at 9:00 a.m. Our next webinar is scheduled for next Thursday, August 20th, 2015. Business Solutions Director Kim Mann at Midlands Technical College is going to be presenting on the Quick Jobs training programs at Midlands Technical College. Thank you for participating, and we look forward to connecting with you again. Thanks, and have a great day.